Over the last year, the CO2 levels have risen dramatically, peaking at 409 parts per million, a record high. As the graph shows, the CO2 levels show a sudden, exponential, almost asymptotic rise over the last 6 decades. Since industrialization, the average temperature of the Earth has gone up by 1.8 degrees. And even though this doesn't seem like much, a 9-degree rise in the temperature could end all life on Earth. Now, you may be wondering, how does this relate to our topic of accumulation of garbage? Well, statistically, in most poor countries, most waste in the landfills ends up getting burnt due to lack of space, releasing CO2, increasing the Earth's temperature, and a whole load of harmful other gases into the atmosphere.
Carbon dioxide isn't the only problem. In 2017 alone, over 258 million tons of solid waste was generated. That's approximately 4.4 pounds of solid waste produced by every American every day of the year. Less than 35% of the waste is actually recycled. Most of the trash ends up in landfills. As the organic materials in the landfills decompose, they will naturally release gas. About 48% of that gas is methane, and 50% is carbon dioxide. Both function as greenhouse gases. But, according to the EPA, methane gas is about 28 to 36 times more effective at trapping heat in the atmosphere than carbon dioxide over a 100-year period. Landfills are responsible for about 14.1% of methane gas emissions in the atmosphere in the U.S. alone.
Different things. So we've had in place for a while now, composting in the dining halls. We are testing front of house composting in West Village and EBB, and we want to expand that to the full functionality of the new campus center that's under design right now and will be under construction next year. Okay. So I think the way that we have to do everything, and this isn't just with waste, it's with any new idea, is that you always have really given evidence for why we need a more comprehensive plan for waste, which we're working on developing, and why we need these goals around waste management. And just so you know, our campus plan has a goal to be zero waste in 10 years. Wow. And with milestone goals of 75% diversion rate.
How does Georgia Tech facilitate composting and ensure that everything that is placed in the compost bins is sent to a composting facility?
Yeah, okay, great. So we work, because we're an urban campus, we have to have vendors take, we pay contractors and vendors that haul compost material away from our campus. Unlike, I think a few other schools, maybe Kennesaw or Emory, or, maybe even some more rural areas, we don't have enough space to do a full windrow system or a full kind of outdoor composting system. So we use more of an urban approach through partnerships and through vendor contracts. So the way we facilitate composting, at least on an existing level, is we use a vendor called Southern Green Industries, who takes all of our combined compost material from back of house and front of house, and that's mainly from our dining facilities, and they take that to their processing warehouse. And I visited their warehouse. They basically take all of the greens and the material, and they process it through a system that crushes it down and makes it usable, and then they sell it on the industrial marketplace.
I see.
So that's how we do it right now.
I see. What challenges do you think we may face in the immediate or even distant future in this goal?
Yeah, I think, there are, in order to kind of upgrade our infrastructure, there are real costs. There's a standard for what our infrastructure looks like, of what the bin size is, what the bin locations are, the kind of frequency, and all of that is a cost to the Institute. So planning is one thing, but then understanding the reality and the costs of implementing that plan is another. So I think just understanding and also prioritizing financial resources to create that in real life is going to be a challenge.
Our inspiration for this video stemmed from VikMuniz's eye-opening work in Huaram Gramacho, Brazil, formerly the largest garbage patch in the world. His ability to transform the seemingly lost artifacts into magnificent pieces of art gave us motivation to try our hand here at Georgia Tech.
We're here at the dump to find items to make a structure out of to show the beauty of garbage. Here goes nothing. I know nobody in the audience can ever guess what this actually is, but it's a crude attempt at the campanile. Do not judge us by what we've made and how it looks, because it represents a principle so important it can change the world.
The purpose behind this dumpster diving was to show how old decrepit trash can be repurposed into artwork. Here we have shown a 3D rendering of our interpretation of the sculpture that Tejas made. Now, due to some unforeseen printing errors, we were unable to 3D print this rendering, but it is shown in full here in this time lapse.